So you want to know what brands to be looking for in 2023 that should sell quick and bring you good money. Well, that's the topic of the video today. Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brad. I'm a former teacher of 13 years in the public school system who've turned their side hustle of selling online for over 20 years into my full-time job now. And I gross over 6 figures a year by reselling online. So as seasons change, so do styles. So you have to keep up with the fashion. Right now in 2023, these are the styles I'm going to start off with that are selling really well, and they'll sell pretty quick. Everything I'm showing you today, I source for around $5, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but I'd say my average cost of goods are $5 a piece. So keep that in mind when I tell you how much stuff's selling for, or if it's reselling for good money, okay? So the first item, a Polo Ralph Lauren. Anything Polo Ralph Lauren for years now, if it's unique, it will sell. This is a Hawaiian, we call it a camp shirt. And I know some of you might be like, what? But these things sell, and $5 and they're probably $35 just for this shirt. Recently, I sold a polo that was Ralph Lauren, and it had a mountain climber on it. It sold for $72. So Ralph Lauren, if it is unique enough, like this is the rugby version or the rugby line of Ralph Lauren. If it's a unique Ralph Lauren, you should expect good money. Okay, right now in style are jerseys. All the kids, if you have kids or you see kids around, they all love jerseys. It can be new or vintage, but a jersey like a Michael Jordan jersey, especially with the older kids, they love it. They're hot. This is a jersey. It's actually not a Bulls jersey. It's just a Jordan jersey. But any type of jersey sells right now in 2023. Next up, a lot of you know vintage clothing sells really well right now, especially vintage t-shirts with that all over print that just screams vintage. Most people I run into out in the thrift stores are looking for vintage clothing. They'll pass over really good stuff that aren't vintage. That's how hot vintage stuff is. So anything that has a tag that is made in the USA and you want to look for that single stitching instead of the double stitching, that will bring you good money. So in style right now, vintage clothing, especially t-shirts, band shirts, anything from the 90s or Y2K with single stitching will bring you good money. Another brand that does really well right now and that has been doing well for years is Harley Davidson. And it really doesn't matter as long as it screams Harley. I'm talking leather jackets, I'm talking denim, I'm talking t-shirts, hats, anything, button-up shirts, anything that screams Harley Davidson. If you can get it for around $5 or under, you'll get good returns out of it. This is from Puerto Rico, so I'd expect this to bring pretty good money just because it screams Harley Davidson. It has that acid wash. All right, here's a brand that I used to wear in high school that has come back and is popular now, Abercrombie & Fitch. Not all Abercrombie & Fitch is popular, but some of the old vintage Abercrombie & Fitch, especially if they're the cargo shorts, again, we're talking spring and summer, these will sell well. You can expect about $30. If you find the camo cargo shorts from Abercrombie & Fitch, they bring really good money, like 50 to 60 bucks. Another style I'm noticing right now are the vintage Levi's. Now, these are new that I picked up. I sourced these actually from a Ross store, but they're like a throwback, and they look just like the vintage ones. The tags are the same. So if you find these silver tabs in the wild, they're kind of a baggy fit, and they have this tag right here. But these are hot right now, especially, again, the silver tab. Even the 560s are really popular right now. Kids are wearing that really baggy material. They went from skinny to baggy. Again, it just changes over time, and you have to keep up on it, or it's going to stay in your store and you're going to lose money on it. Okay, so two of my favorite kinds of items to sell in the spring and summer are golfing items and hiking items. So I will show you some golf brands and some hiking brands that should bring you good money. With golf, it's pretty funny. The styles change with the seasons as well. So I feel like every 2 or 3 years, there's a new golf brand that comes out that's super hot. Everybody wants it. And then after about that 2 or 3 years, it just falls off a cliff. And one of those brands is Travis Matthew. I don't have it in this pile here because it's just not a bolo for me anymore. But I still pick up Nike, especially if it's Nike with a unique pattern and it has a newer like screen print. You'll have to look online at the older screen prints, but the newer screen prints sell much better than the older ones. Here are two examples of polos, golf polos that are doing well right now that I haven't heard of, and they probably have just come out in the past few years. But this is called Sunday Swagger, and it's just the all over print, fun Sunday shirt, super stretchy type of material. These do really well. Especially, there's another one that looks just like this called Bad Birdie. Bad Birdie does really well. I'm talking like you list it, it sells within a day or two if you list it at the right price. For example, that shirt or the Bad Birdie, I would list at probably $44 and it would sell within a couple days. And I would expect to pay $5 for that shirt at a thrift store. G4. G4 is a brand. It almost has that Tory Burch look logo, but this is a brand right now that sells really well for golfing. And again, it could be like the Travis Matthew where it does not sell well here in a few years. Here's a brand that slipped a little bit, but it still sells well if you get the summer comfort. But Peter Millar, especially if it has a unique graphic, if it's got all over print, like these are little cactuses, then it's going to sell better than your traditional solid or striped Peter Millar. Especially if you find one with a really good, like a PGA golf course, like Pinehurst, something like that, it will bring more money. Also, RLX is still doing okay for me, actually. It's been around a little while, but it still does well for me, especially if it has like the USA print on it. This has stars. I don't know if you can see it. This has stars, like matte stars all over it. And this is actually from one of the Ryder Cups. So since it's from the Ryder Cup and it's RLX with the USA, these do well. Another golf polo that does well, Grayson. And you can look for this logo. And the reason I know this logo is because one day I was watching a PGA event and this logo was about 4 times the size on someone's shirt. And so I looked it up and it's a newer brand, Grayson, and it sells well. This one's actually new with tags. It doesn't have the price on it, but these sell really well. All right, so these have done well for years, but Lilly Pulitzer, again, this is women's obviously, but Lilly Pulitzer does extremely well reselling online. As long as it's not super faded or has holes or really bad pilling, anything Lilly Pulitzer that just screams like tropical and these colors like this colorway will bring good money. All right, like I said earlier, golf brands and hiking brands are my favorite brands to sell during the spring and summer. So right here, Prana, and these are actually pants. As a matter of fact, with the hiking gear, it doesn't matter if it's pants or shorts or t-shirts or long sleeve, because in some places it's chilly during the day or during the night and warm during the day. So it doesn't really matter. And people want to maybe keep off the brush off their legs. So they'll wear these pants. So Prana is my first brand that I'd be on the lookout for. And Prana always has done well. It's done well for years for me and it continues to do well. The next brand has slipped a little bit, but it still sells well. But Patagonia, especially if we're talking shorts or cargo shorts or really nice button ups or button downs, the actual polos and the t-shirts don't do near as well. I'd have to buy them for like $1 for me to sell them. But these Patagonia, they're like a crossover swim trunk hiking shorts. You can tell with this one button in the back, but I find these all the time. These sell really well. So Patagonia and Prana are 2 brands to start looking for. So to stick with the outdoor hiking items, I would say Cool is definitely towards the top of the pyramid with Arc'teryx, but Cool is a great brand. Really anything Cool all year long sells really well. And it's not COOL, but that's how you spell it if you're new and you're looking for brands to resell. So if you find this pair of Cool pants, it should be about $6 where you live, $4 to $7, but these will sell for $30 to $35. And as a side hustle, I mean, that's dinner at night. So when it's warm, the fish start biting. So there are definitely some fishing brands that I keep on the lookout for year round, and I'll start listing in the spring and summer. One of them is AFCO. That's the symbol That's the logo for it. These are just some like swim trunks slash maybe just boater pants. And the reason I say that's because they have the cargo shorts. So people might go fishing in these, but AFCO does really well. They're not going to bring you $50 an item, but if you buy these for $3.99, they'll probably bring you $25. Another brand that I would recommend looking for, you probably already know, is Huck. Right now, Huck is very popular. So Huck Fishing, shirts with the all over print, shorts, anything, pants, anything with Huck. Yeah, you don't find many pants, but Huck Fishing is super popular. And in the summer, that's a great brand to look for. Another fishing brand I'm always looking for is Simms. Simms is a great brand. You find it in mostly shirts, long sleeve or short sleeve, but they usually have a vent somewhere on them. They might even have like a lodge or some sort of print from where they got it from. It doesn't matter. Fishermen, they don't care. These things sell all the time. Again, once spring and summer hit, these start flying off the shelves for me. I also like to look for activewear in the spring and summer. Obviously, people are out working out, running, whatever. There are three main brands I'm looking for when I'm out there. Nike and some of those others like Under Armour, I don't usually pick up when it's for activewear, just like the t-shirts and stuff. But three brands I look for. One of them is Lululemon. You guys know the tag. So this is just a Lululemon shirt. And then two of the other brands I look for are Viore and Rhone. So Lululemon, Viore, and Rhone are three brands that sell super quickly as soon as you list them. Again, with everything I have here, you have to look at comps and list them at the right price to be competitive. But if you list them at the right price, you shouldn't have any trouble listing any of these items. As always, thanks for coming to my channel. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments below. I love to help out and continue helping you in your reselling journey. See ya.